Welcome to part 5 of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. We're still trying to get the crucifix from the evil clutches of Rafe.
Yeah, when you said Rafe, I thought you were gonna go into Ra's al Ghul for some reason. Or Ra's al Ghul. I don't... How's it pronounced?
Ra's al Ghul.
Depends who you are. If you're Nolan, he thinks it's pronounced it's Raz. If you're someone else, you might think it's Race. It's never really.
Well, the thing is, Dwibs, it's only in the comics. It's only written, so you don't quite know the pronunciation.
Yeah, it's never clear how to pronounce it.
Anyway, so yeah.
I wonder if we'll be doing anything else in this bit later on. Case information about the auction.
Lot number.
Wow, they got the entire list, but I gave up. Yeah, it'll come up later on anyway.
Seller's just through there.
Right.
This place is fancy.
Oh, no, when they showed this off at PXX. Like this level.
Wow, they're in Europe and they play European techno. It's always a genius.
All right.
Here we are. Let's do this.
And nope.
Locked.
Hell, it's locked.
Well, what were you expecting?
Now what? Can we pick it? No, it's electronic. We're gonna have to find another way in.
Forgive me, sir, but did you say something about finding another way in?
Yes, another way into the heart of my job.
You see that? Back left. Yep. I'm on it.
All right.
Whoa. You sure you want to do that? There's a lot of eyes out here. I think I can handle a simple lift.
Now Nate's getting back to his pickpocketing roots.
Yep.
Basically, we have to keep our eyes focused on the card for long enough for us to be able to grab it.
Yeah.
But the problem is it keeps moving.
I'm not even trying yet. Yeah, I can
Is there a way to do it before he moves?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
the
have-
problem. I try as early as I can. Ah, so close. Oh, wait, no, I got it. Wait, I got it there.
There we go.
I got it.
Yeah,
Come
to be
on.
quicker than that, Dwibs.
Hey!
But it filled up.
I know, but you have to press triangle after it, though.
Shit.
That's quite a small window, too.
Pointers? No.
Awesome.
Warming up, that's all. You say we just run it like the old days, okay? I do the interference, you make the grab. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cutscene if you fail.
Yep.
If you fail enough times,
Really?
Yeah. Basically, remember, guys, my skills at stealth are practically zero, so even the game has to help me out.
Yeah.
Well, so far you seem to be doing not too bad.
Once again, great attention
Sometimes
to
I welcome it when games do that.
Once again,
No,
great
it's
attention to detail on part of Neil and Bruce.
Well, they're hoping, but it's not like, hand holding.
Yeah,
They're doing it in a unique way.
Yeah, so basically, Paige, what you're saying is they knew that, oh great, some 23-year-old
Yeah.
British noob is going to be doing this game for his commentary channel.
What makes this great, of course, is that it's I guess you can technically consider it hand holding, but at the same time, it's justified by the story, and it's the immersive kind of hand holding.
Nate, stop looking at that guy's ass.
That's
Yeah,
where...
I was gonna say, I mean, at least they're letting you actually play it still. They didn't ask his brother to do it.
There we go.
And we got the key card.
Hey.
Excellent.
Pleasure to watch professionals at work. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. We'll still need these. Great.
Earpieces.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that Nate, Sully, and Sam can keep in contact.
Oh, I have an idea. Since how this is essentially based off like stuff like Indiana Jones and National Treasure, you know what Naughty Dog's next IP should be?
What?
Mission Impossible.
Oh, I can see that they're making a fantastic Mission Impossible.
Here we go.
My favorite female new character.
I wonder why.
Hello, Major.
It's obvious.
Alright.
It's obvious.
Okay.
Wait, hold
Got
on.
nothing
No,
to
wait,
do
hold
with
on.
the voice
Hold on.
actors at all.
Deji. Don't you see, though? They're being diversified.
Yeah, okay, let's get the big elephant in the room out the way right now. Yes, a black character, Nadine, is voiced by a white person.
Which is incredibly common in voice acting anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quite honest.
There's no point to...
Yeah, I mean,
There was a lot of kerfuffle over this.
Matter.
Even if you are a
Like, I can understand with live action, but when it comes to voice acting, I mean, how much? Most of the people that are bitching about this, they watch anime all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, shut the fuck up.
Catch all that?
yes, we did.
Alright, so that's all we're going to say on the subject.
Besides,
Those are stupid.
Nobody
Let's
cares.
move
No,
on.
nobody
Nobody
really
cares.
even cares about that. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I mean, yeah, I mean, I did hear some people complain about it, but
It was all over,
Thankfully not.
the place when I saw it.
really,
honestly, Dwibs, when it comes to these things, sometimes people just like complaining for the sake of complaining.
And
Also,
and there's
Dweeb, since I'm an equal opportunity leader, I'm gonna have to ask you the same question I asked Pedro. Where do you go to see people constantly talk about it? I mean, I go, okay. I've heard people
Well, to be
occasionally
fair,
talk
actually,
about
Jova, there have been people, not many, but there have been some. I actually saw them myself as well.
Oh, I know that there have been some, but I've never really seen them in like a huge bulk, like Dweebs is describing.
Yeah,
I mean,
in it like not as much. It wasn't. I think the controversy with the portrait in chapter 4 was bigger,
because let's be honest,
you
people.
mean the Assassin's Creed portrait?
but they changed it for the final product anyway. So
Let's be quite honest, Miko. Someone's always going to complain about something like this, but it only really becomes a problem when, you know, the big leaguers or, you know, like people in a huge mass will talk about it. For example, people will say that, oh, the public have no power over it. Well, tell that to the original Xbox One that never saw the light of day. Yeah.
Alright, so,
No, Jova, don't you know the reason why the Xbox One didn't sell as well as Microsoft hoped wasn't because of the DRM stuff. It was because Sony was a much bigger name. Yes, someone I know actually tried to defend that, saying that the general public wasn't aware of Microsoft's original plan. I'm like,
it wasn't even just
Really?
that.
Because from the way he's
was just that
arguing, it
edgy?
sounds like he thought that DRM was still a major thing with that when that's a removed thing. Wow.
alright, okay, so let's,
So we're
now
in the
we've addressed
cellar
that elephant
here.
in the room, let's move on. We're in the cellar.
And for the sake of you know, what happened earlier, basically her name is Nadine Ross, and apparently she knows Sully. So, and she's voiced by the absolutely wonderful Laura Bailey. And she will also be apparently Chloe's side protagonist in Uncharted Lost Legacy.
They,
So,
they
cool.
totally won't get shipped, I'm sure.
I wonder if this is the first game of play.
Well, Jova, it wouldn't be the first time something like that happens in a Naughty Dog game, now would it?
No, it
guys,
wouldn't.
just to be
Yeah, Dwibs.
have I recorded a game that has the ubiquitous pairing of Troy Baker and Laura Bailey in it?
I'm trying to think. Oh, what games have you recorded?
No, I don't think he. I don't think he has.
Yeah.
No. In fact, I think this is the first game he's recorded that has both Baker and Bailey.
Well, I'm looking forward to Bioshock Infinite.
Yep.
Oh, really? Basically, Deji Joe was doing the first 2 games. I'm doing the third.
There you go then. Anyway.
I heard great things about that series.
Well, yeah, Bioshock is a first-person shooter that managed to actually get some innovation into the first-person shooter genre. This was back in the late 2000s.
2007.
Yeah.
Not to. By the way, to finish that earlier talk, Deji, not for nothing, but that the fact that the Xbone barely has any worthwhile exclusives probably doesn't help.
It says something when the Wii U itself is outdoing the Xbone in a few regions.
Actually, now the Xbox.
Japan.
Just settle for some good wine.
No, Deji, you
Well,
can't.
well.
You're not actually gonna say to me with a straight face that the Xbone is outselling the Wii U in Japan, considering all the sales charts
Actually-
we've been getting.
Actually, would you believe me that like last month there was a sales chart where the Xbox One was actually outselling the Wii U?
Yeah, I'm guessing it was one of those random sporadic sparks. There's always something like that weird going on.
And also, yeah, but Jova, you know Japan's issue with that.
Oh, you mean mobile?
All right, so basically,
No,
in
the
this part-
xenophobia. the xenophobe.
Yeah.
In this part, we have to navigate. We have to navigate through this dark wine cellar.
She'll be worried that Victor is chatting
Oh,
with
yeah.
Dean Ross. I mean, we've heard some pretty scary stories about her crew.
Yeah, don't worry about Sully. I can
Huh,
find his way
you
out
think
of that.
that's scary? You should hear the stories about the woman herself.
Yeah. I remember one time. In an intro for a game, she did nothing but cuss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was a sequel to that game where she managed to cut down a giant robot while wearing a blindfold.
Oh, even better. I heard when she was at school, she was actually a pretty awesome scythe wielder.
Oh. And don't even get me on the time when she managed to wield and yield the undead when she was brought back as a weird ghost monster by a husband of hers voiced by Troy... Well, sort of indirectly voiced by Troy Baker.
And don't forget how she also was became a succubus in her late 20s.
Oh.
So what is this, the Laura Bailey Cinematic Universe now?
But
Yes.
then oh, that reminds me, guys. Have you seen a woman about this tall, blue silk dress, voice of Laura Bailey, and with legs that look like she never skipped leg day in a single day of her life since she was a baby? Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm surprised no one got that after the last clue.
No, I did. I was just, because I already know that.
Okay.
In the vent we go.
I do love these. Oh, never mind. They actually address how events are, not the most ideal means of transport. Although, why is there glass on these vents?
There's glass.
Well, it looks like it because of, the way the flare is on the camera.
I don't think it's. It's probably just a flare.
What? Forget. Who's that director who's notorious for lens flare?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Although he actually didn't do that much. Force Awakens. That
I was
remember
actually going to
this.
say, Pedro, I was actually considering bringing sunglasses to Force Awakens.
Okay.
I do love how these grates are made for easily pulling up.
Yeah.
Oh, now's not the time to argue, boys.
They're acting like 10-year-old.
Well, Shiva, I can speak from experience that when two brothers, they rare. Even like my brother's 26, I'm 30, and we still act very childish when we're talking to each other. So trust me, that's just how we are, boys.
I act childish when I'm talking to my brother as well, and so does.
There you go then. That's one of the big strengths of Neil Druckmann's writing. His characters always feel very believable.
With the radio tower? You mean the cell tower? What? Whatever. Listen, that's the power room.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see how we get past this gate.
Since Hino often asks for advice, I wonder if they ask for advice, from anybody who has any siblings. People have siblings and things like that. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's someone at Naughty Dog that would be able to tell Neil about that. So.
That's what I mean. They have a lot of people working there, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what they do.
Come on, Sam. Thank you.
All right, if I'm not mistaken, this is where the game introduces the stealth element.
How's it looking?
All right.
Oh, no.
Okay, one of the big, gigantic improvements to the gameplay in Uncharted 4 is the fact that 90% of this game can actually be completed Metal Gear style. You can actually some players can actually prefer the novelty of trying to go for an entire section without killing anybody by stealth killing everybody instead of using guns.
That's a good idea.
It makes the gameplay infinitely more flexible than in the previous games. It's a gigantic improvement.
And I remember you saying that it gives those who don't want to the option not to.
No. If you don't want to stealth, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But it'll make things harder if you don't, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Oh, that's fun.
Greetings.
Hi.
It's a shame we don't
wanted a
have.
cigarette.
It's a shame we don't have Theo here.
Been there before, right? Right.
Like sort of a headache in his underwear.
You get yours.
Alright.
Okay. Well, that's their disguise.
Get to the power room.
Well, for Sam anyway. Now Nate's just got to get to the power room.
Sam, you good? Yeah, these pants are just a little bit too tight. Yeah, well, that's the style these days. Really? Oh, in Rome. Nah, because we're in Italy.
You made a funny.
Sam, you there?
And we've lost
Sam?
reception.
Sully? Great.
Sorry, you've been disconnected.
Alright. Alrighty then.
Just gotta find a way to get onto the spit of the roof.
There we go.
Because if there's one thing that I am known for is direction ability.
Oh yeah, totally.
What's the word for it?
If you can hear me?
You have a shitty sense of guidance.
Yeah.
Ish.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah. And totally natural jump cut.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry, I've done plenty of these in my playthroughs as well. Anyway.
I swear I didn't spend like nearly half an hour on this section originally.
Oh no, don't worry.
Just like
We
I'm
believe
sure.
you. It's okay.
several hundred feet in the air.
Fun fact: the main character of Horizon Zero Dawn also takes a cue from Nathan Drake by also having a lot of sarcastic commentary. Forgot the gameplay.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things, but I wish YouTube would stop advertising it to me. They're
Try
still
Horizon.
doing.
Try Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, the
Do
thing,
you have
well,
a
well,
PS4?
well, the thing is, Shiroi, remember, that game was in development for like a shit ton of time. Sony really wanted that game to sell, so
I know,
they're
wasn't
marketing it up
first
to wazoo.
announced- Wasn't it first announced at the same time as Final Fantasy VII?
I
I'm
don't know
pretty
if it
sure it
was.
was announced at that E3.
Yeah,
I-
E3 2015.
Yeah, sure. When
Yeah.
you said Final Fantasy VII, I thought you meant wow. I thought you meant it like wow. They've been advertising Horizon Zero Dawn for 20 years.
No.
All that
I
build up.
did say remake. I'm sure I did say remake.
There we go.
I haven't played the game myself. I haven't even got it yet because I'm saving up for a lot of other things. But I'm looking forward to playing that game for the channel.
Well,
from
if
what I've seen.
YouTube wants to buy me a PS4, then I'll buy it.
What if one of us wins a PS4 and we don't
Sorry.
need it?
Become YouTube partners.
What if one of us wins a PS4 but doesn't want it?
You know what? It'll probably be quicker to learn how to draw.
Or what? Sorry.
I said,
Well, that's
it'll
one.
be quicker to.
All right, I'll go.
Oh, we did.
Oh no, I.
All right, let me listen.
Actually, consider.
You got it.
What
Okay.
about the horse?
No, I didn't get it. I didn't hear it.
Oh no, Pedro wants us to hear something here.
Say it in text.
Nice.
Recognize someone.
Fancy suit, Sam.
I thought I did, but no.
But when am I finally going to meet that partner of yours? Drake?
Well, that's ex-partner.
Oh boy.
I've been flying solo for a while now. Drake's out.
Oh. Like dead out?
Oh no, more like retired. Last I heard, he settled down, got married.
Well, then he might as well be dead, right?
Dick.
Hey, Rafe.
Victor Sullivan. How the hell are you?
Rafe?
How long has it been? 10 years? 12?
15.
Must resist Titanic
Here we are.
or Pokemon X and Y joke.
Aren't you running your parents' business?
My business now. But yes, that is my day job.
Did you kill your parents?
Maybe.
Well, sure. But what would be the point in that? When these days I'm only looking for
Oh, so he's Lex Luthor.
good stuff.
Hmm.
Big score.
Yeah, that's pretty much. You can kind of pretty much say that he's pretty much the Lex Luthor of the game. Yeah.
Don't want to bid against him. But
Well, remember where we are. This crowd didn't get rich by playing fair.
Which is why you
True.
really need someone watching your back in a place like this.
Yeah.
Well, I do hate to break it to you. You are working for an American.
With partner with
See. Talk about a power couple.
In a few moments, we'll begin bidding on our next item, an inlaid wooden crucifix from the Trot estate.
Well, I know when I'm a third wheel. You two kids have fun tonight.
Just hold on, Sully. How'd you find out about it?
It? What it is that, Rafe? Nadine, I think your partner here has had too many Bloody Marys.
Cut the bullshit.
Ooh.
I don't know how you scam your way in here, but if you think about bidding on Avery's Cross, I can tell you exactly how you're going to be leaving in a goddamn
Rafe.
fight. You get my point.
Lovely seeing you both. Nate?
Don't let it get the better of you.
Thing ain't working.
God damn it, Nate, answer.
Anyway, what are you gonna say earlier, Siri?
I said it would be quicker to learn how to be an artist and start doing commissions than to become a YouTube partner.
I know.
Well, I suck
right?
at art, so
I mean, I forget. What are the ups and downs of being a YouTube partner? I mean, does it even pay well these days?
You have to get a shit ton of views and a shit ton of subscribers to earn even a.
I'm dying.
I mean, we've had some offers, but I get the feeling there might be some strings
Because you
attached.
only get money for a certain amount of views. It's not.
There you go.
It's not a few pence or whatever per one view. It's like per a few hundred or a few thousand views.
So no wonder they offer the partnerships. If anything, it's more of a leash than an actual benefit.
Basically,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, let's see if I can make this leap. I'm pretty sure you could make that. And then the game teleports me to here.
There you go. The game is literally telling you, here, go through here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Straley, I didn't follow your directions.
Which is interesting. Actually, that's a good segue. One other new feature that this game introduced is that if you spend too long in one section, the game will assume that you're lost and actually insert a marker telling you where to go.
Pretty much saying, go here, you.
Yeah, pretty much. Go here, you dumb fuck.
This
Basically.
doesn't happen in many games, but it happens in some. If you're trying to go over to particular platforms, if you're close enough to them, but you die, the game will put you on the platform anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here we are, the power room.
It's a shame we don't have Teo here so he could translate this for us.
Wait, this is Italian they're speaking?
Is someone's phone ringing?
I think it was the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like a phone in game.
Sounds like a Sony phone.
But anyway, Jova, yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
Jova, earlier they said they're in Rome. They're in Italy.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's Rome is still in Italy.
Well, they're not in Rome, but they are in Italy, yeah.
Here we go. Now.
Oh, they were just saying it.
Oh,
for the
oh,
sake-
that reminds me. Did
Alright.
you guys see what Sony tweeted out today?
No.
Nope.
Sam,
Like how they made a tweet saying how Italians play PlayStation.
close
I'm
call.
like, I don't get
Oh
it.
boy.
That would be a good time.
Well, I'm gonna need a minute before I can reach the panel.
I don't get the whole how Italians play me.
We'll have to ask Teo about that.
Yeah.
It's probably a joke made by Sony Italy.
Yeah, it was. It was Sony Italy.
I'll bid
Oh, okay. In that case, it's a cultural thing. We have to ask Teo about it.
We're stealing it, remember?
What if he calls my bluff?
We have 90,000. Do I hear any?
Okay. Looks like Sully's gonna have to bluff some bets. All right.
Well, I end up with the highest bid. We're all.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pay $1.
Going twice.
Yeah, just up it by $1.
$2.
400,000.
$3. That's my final. Oh my god, Sully, just get on with it.
For a penny and for a pound.
So is this section time?
Here's an interesting thing, by the way. If you have your console set to English UK, which I'm guessing, which I can tell Dwibs has.
Yeah, you said in for a penny and for a pound.
Yeah, if it's the American version, they have the actors record the dialogue with dollars.
Oh.
Once again, great attention to detail on part of them.
Do they even do the conversion rates, or do they just change the name of the currency?
No. It was just a saying. In for a penny, in for a pound is a saying. So.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I get that. I was just asking Michael if the bidder or the one hosting the bid.
Oh no!
Also
They have to bid
converts
in
the
euros.
amounts.
They would stay to euros.
It's kind of like how in Zootopia they had the actors record each line twice, so that they can say Zootropolis in every line that the city's name is said.
So basically, I'm
They did
wondering.
that in Harry Potter too for.
So basically, I'm wondering,
So
Pedro and Michael, do they keep the numbers the same, or do they also change the
Okay,
amounts
guys.
for the American
Lights
version?
out.
I think so. Yeah. Here we go.
Victor? Just a sec.
The gentleman's bid, 220,000 euros.
500,000. Let's get the show on the road here.
Thank you. We have 500,000 euros in the room. Does the gentleman wish to bid again?
Had me worried there for a minute, Victor. Thought I might have to kill you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, let's ruin this All Souls
We are
evening.
going once. Going twice? Then I shall sell it for 500,000 euros.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. The backup power will come on shortly.
Nope.
I know, Sully, if you were smart, you wouldn't have left.
Stop him! Hey, stop that guy! What are you doing? You letting him get away? You speak Spanish.
No y comprende?
That's Spanish joke.
That's Spanish, Jova.
Sam.
I know, that's the joke.
Chapter 7. Lights out.
Hey, that's like the name of a Crash Bandicoot level.
That's not one of the ones where you have to use a firefly.
Firefly? Shiroi, I think you're confusing Spyro with Crash Bandicoot here.
No, in Crash 3 you can use.
Well, I was
Fireflies.
talking about Crash Bandicoot 1.
All right, everybody. The next part.
Part 6, where we try and get out of Italy alive with the cross.
And we'll actually get our first boss fight, kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe not, as Undertale would say. Oh!
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Get dunked on, Jova.
Bye.